Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Any Volunteers to Fight My Keyboard? And this is by Hugo Bob, and you will see why we have why this title is in place. We have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply, which means in every cell in the grid, place a single digit such that every row, column, and designated 6-cell region contains the digits 1 through 6 exactly once each. We have crop key dots, where digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and digits separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. That is, one digit is double the other. And so, for example, if this were, say, a 2 here, this digit would have to be 1 or 4 to maintain the 1:2 ratio between them, and this digit would have to be 1 or 3 to make sure that these digits are consecutive, because there's a white dot between them. And we have XV, where digits separated by a V sum to 5, and digits separated by an X sum to 10, and all X's and V's are given. And this is known as a negative constraint because saying that all X's and V's are given, and we see there are no X's and V's in this puzzle and in the title too, because all X's and V's are taken away from the puzzle in general and from the title, right? So that's why it's Any Volunteers to Fix My Keyboard, because they can't place any X's and V's at all because their X and V keys are broken. So that's why there are no X's and V's in the entire puzzle, which means no two cells that share an edge can add up to 5 or can add up to 10. Because if there were any that add up to 5 and 10, since the rule is all X's and V's are given, there would have to be an X or a V showing up here. But because there are 0 X's and V's given, because we have a broken X and a broken V key, in this puzzle then, you have no two cells that share an edge can add up to 5 or add up to 10. And that's what a typical negative constraint is. So, and part of the reason why I wanted to do this, actually, I like the clever title. And also, but I wanted to sort of introduce what negative constraints are, because this is actually a rule set that's actually kind of used a decent amount of time. So it's something that you'll run into if you do a lot of Sudokus. Quite often, actually. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay. The digits, which can be next to two unique digits. Sorry. The digits that can be in a 1:2 ratio, which means they can be next to a black crop key dot in this puzzle, have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. 5 can never be next to a black crop key dot, because if you have 5, you get 2.5. If you double 5, you get 10, neither of which are digits from 1 through 6. And that's in normal Sudoku too, because obviously neither 2.5 or 10 are digits, period. So in this puzzle, in this upper left-hand region, we know that 5 cannot be next to the black crop key dots. So 5 has to be one of these two digits here. Now, if this is 5, this would have to be next to 4 or 6, right? So if this is 5, it's next to 4 and 6 here. If this were 5, that would be next to 4 or 6 here and 4 or 6 here. But these could be the same digit. So obviously, if this is 5, we have 4 and 6 here as a pair. If we had 5 here, this would be 4 or 6. And this could be either 1, 2, 3, with 2 being in the middle, or 2, 3, 4, with 3 being in the middle. Okay, so if we have 4, 6 here, this is 2 or 3, and this would be 2 or 3. But again, we have no V's in this puzzle, so this can't be 2, 3 adding up with 2, 3 to add up to 5. So if this were 2, it would have to be 1 here. If this were 3, it would have to be... Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's continue. Let's go down. So what happens if this is 5? If this is 5, this is 4, 6, this is 4, 6. This is 2 or 3 to be in a 1 to 2 ratio with 4 or 6, and as is this. The thing is, this cannot be 2 or 3, because if this is 2 or 3, that would guarantee these add up to 5, which is not possible. So this would have to be 1, which is only consecutive with 2. So then this would be 2 and 2. That would force us to be 3, which would make that 6 to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. So that would have to be 4, which would make that 2 to have to be in a 1 to 2 ratio with 4. So we'd have 1, 2, 4 here. Now the same thing, 3 would be, again, can't be consecutive with 2, so it would have to be 4 here. Because we already have a 2 in that region. So this would be a 1, 3 pair. 3 again could not be consecutive with 2 or next to share an edge with 2 because that adds up to 5 and there's no V there. And since all V's are given, this has to be 1, that's 3. This can't be 4. Sorry, this can't be 6 here because that adds up to 10 with 4. So then this would be 5 and that would be 6. So this is all possible. So let's look at the other possibilities then. Okay. So say this was 5 here. Then this would have to be 4 or 6. That would be next to 2 or 3 there. This would also be 4 or 6. Remaining digits in this box. So this is either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4 to be consecutive because we can't have a 5 here. Either way, we know 2 and 3 have to be there. Oh, 2 and 3 can never be consecutive because so this cannot work. So if we have 5 here, this is 4 and 6. This would have to be either 1, 2, 3 next to each other or 2, 3, 4 next to each other. And the 2, 3 would be sharing an edge with each other, which is not allowed because there are no X's or V's in this grid. Excuse me. So therefore, this can't be 5 here, which means this must be 5 over here. And again, it must be next to 4 and 6. That forces these to be 2 and 3 to be in 1 to 2 ratio with 4 and 6. 2, 3 can't be here because 2 and 3 would be adding up with the other 2 or 3, which would have to be here because there are no repeats in any row or column, and they would add up to 5, which is not possible because there's no V possible in this grid. So this has to be 1 here, which is only consecutive with 2. And therefore, again, that makes this 3, which is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 6. That 6 eliminates 6 there, so it's 4, which is in a 1 to 2 ratio only with 2. 2 is in a 1 to 2 ratio with 1 or 4, but this can't be 1 because of 1 in the row, so that's 4. 3 is consecutive with 2 or 4, but this can't be 2 because of 2 in the box, or the region, so that's 4 there. And we just solve using this way. And again, this can't be 3. That adds up to 5 for these digits because they would be sharing an edge. That's 1. This is 3. This can't be 6. That's 3 in the corner. We celebrate because we're close to solving this. This can't be 6 because that adds up to 10 here, so this must be 5, which makes that 6 there. Okay. And the rest is basically all using the negative constraint, would be my guess, and normal Sudoku. Okay. In column 1, we have 1, 2, and 5 remaining. 2 can't be here because of 2 in the box. 1 can't be here because these two digits add up to 5, and there's no V between them. So this has to be 5 here, which eliminates 5 in the rest of the column. Okay. What about column 2? We have 3, 4, and 6. 4 can't be here because of 4 in the box. 3 can't be here because 2 and 3 add up to 5, and there's no V between them again. There's no V at all in the rest of the grid. So this is 6, which eliminates 6 in the rest of the column. That means we have 1 and 3 remaining in the rest of this left central box. 3 can't be here because it's next to the 2, which would add up to 5 and with no V between them. So this is 1, that's 3. That leaves the remaining digits as 5 and 6. 6 and 4 add up to 10, and there's no X between these two cells, so this is 3, which makes this 4. 3 and 2 add up to 5, so this must be 1, which makes that 2. 4 and 6 cannot add up to 10, so it cannot be here because they would then need to have an X between them. So that's 5, that's 6 there. Remaining digits in row 3. We have 3, 5, and 6. This can't be 3 or 6 because of 3 or 6 in the column, so we have 5 here. We have a 3, 6 pair left here. This can't be 6 because 4 and 6 add up to 10, and there's no X between them, so that's 3, which makes that 6. Remaining digits in row 4 are 1, 2, and 4. This can't be 2 or 4 because of 2 or 4 in the column, so that's 1. This can't be 4 because 4 and 6 add up to 10 without an X in between, so this must be 2, which makes that 4. We have 5 and 6 remaining in column 4. This can't be 6 because of 6 in the row, so this is 5, that's 6. Remaining digits in column 5, we have 3 and 4. 4 can't be here because it's next to this. We can't have a 4 here because of 4 in the row, so that's 3, 4, and we are left with 2 and 1 here. And none of these add up to 5, none of these add up to 10. So that's how you solve it. Yep, pretty straightforward, and as I assumed correctly, we were using the negative constraints quite a bit here. So, but that sort of gives you a feel for how negative constraints work. It's a very, very powerful rule that restricts a decent amount. It depends on the type of negative constraint, but it can restrict quite a bit of the grid. As obviously you can tell, because we just had only these clues here, and once we solved those, just using the negative constraint and normal Sudoku rules, we were able to just finish out the rest of the puzzle. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.